just the way that you learn and want to help people, I think is very unique. I have a hobby. Oh, I like learning about drones. I also want to fund my hobby. Let me listen to Daniel to see how he's doing it. How is he? Not necessarily like this is the only way to do it, but here's our journey into this, and you can be the reporter in the space, going to talk to other people from your point of view. Not everybody wants to be a drone pilot, but if you're into droning and you want to fund your hobby, I think this is what you're good at, is being able to fund your hobbies in very unique ways. That's why I always get excited when you're into new hobbies, because I'm like, oh, here's some more money making opportunities.
No, that's really true too. Like, I think there's a large section of the population that would be the FPV population that would be interested in, like, how do I do this and fund it? Because, like, if you're even the race teams, right? Like, look at any car manufacturer. Like, if Mazda's main goal is to race, their car, they still have to make the Mazda 3, which is like a fun enthusiast car, but you're not racing that really anywhere. Like, that's just from getting to A to B. So you still have to do the things that allow you to fund, the enthusiastic side of it, or the
that's very interesting from like a brand perspective, because you can even think of it on the other side. Like, most of the people that are flying drones are not brands or manufacturers, but they still have to get sponsors. Like, there's always a money side behind. And maybe that's a very unique view too. And maybe that's what I can add a little bit more, is just like, how are these people making money? Where is the money in this? How do you fund this? Are you a brand where it's like you can make the Mazda 3 or any other enthusiast car to sell the car to then pay for the racing? Or are you just a weekend warrior trying to go out and race? Here's some ways to fund it, instead of going to the junkyard and like constantly banging your knuckles against things, speaking from experience, and like trying to fund this thing, and you're pulling your hair out and you're fighting with your wife, and it's just like a nightmare situation. How can you make it
a little personal there?
Yeah. It is real deep here. So
I don't know. I feel like those opportunities like slapped me in the face. Like, before I left for Michigan and coming back, like, just hearing these 3 opportunities where it was just like I'm saying no simply because I don't have the right gear and the skills at this point. But it's like, I already am looking at better gear. I'm already training to get better skills. It's like, okay, what's the obvious next step? Like, let's not deny what's the universe is throwing out there. Like, let's just go ahead and walk into this and say, okay, like, if I get the better gear, if I get my skills up, then if cinematic jobs are out there, then I shouldn't be like, no, I want to race first. Like, I want to build the fastest and lightest drone and like put myself in even more of a hole because now I'm spending 10 grand on a drone or whatever. It's like, no, let me just do the cinema thing, because that's going to open up more relationships with businesses in my area and allow me... allow me to build, drones for whatever the heck I want to do in future. But
so I have just an aha question, I guess.
Go ahead.
You said it slapped you in the face. Do you think this is because we've started so many businesses and done so many things that like you're just identifying opportunities a lot quicker?
That could be it. Really, that quote about like luck just like kind of stung in my ears, where it was like that preparation meets opportunity. I was like, there's opportunity like out here, even though I'm not personally like searching for it. It's other people in my close circle, because I'm not telling the world that, well, I guess kind of by putting it on YouTube, but it's not like I'm telling every person I meet that, I'm doing like FPV drone stuff now. Like, I would say 90% of the people out there don't know I'm doing it. But these opportunities are still coming to me with even that like little amount of influence in the FPV space, in the drone space in general. So it probably is some of that past knowledge of like, if there's opportunity here, I should probably like take it, because that's a lot of the way we operated previously, like following trends for shirts or whatever we were doing. But yeah, I didn't really think about it that way, but it just feels like it's hard to deny with, it's not like they're the highest paying gigs in the world, but it's like, if I have very little skills and I'm not really putting it out there that I'm doing this thing like professionally, I have no like portfolio or anything like that, and I'm getting like opportunities to build a portfolio, then it's like, this is probably something I should look into. Especially if I enjoy it. Like, I'm already looking at buying more gear. It wasn't like, oh, here are the opportunities, now let me go out and buy this gear. It was like, no, I already wanted 2 separate different drones that I'm probably going to spend my money on, just for the love of the hobby. And if I can use those as tools to fund it, then it wouldn't make sense to do it any other way from our past experiences.
I spent $100 and I was like, I'm out. Like, I don't want this hobby at all. But it only cost me $100. Like, I didn't buy the DJI Maverick 2, the one that I wanted that was like $1,500. Like, I didn't spend $1,500 and then go, I don't want it. I spent $100. Then I would have been like, oh, if I like this, then I'll step my way up. And then, like, really, what do I want to do with this? I feel like you did the same thing. You want to do FPV drones. Racing was kind of the pinnacle of that, but you go, I don't really want to step into that. Let me just start with the lowest cost thing and see if I enjoy it. Then from this joy, what is the next steps for you? And I think you're seeing now that there are money making opportunities. So if you're thinking about two different drones, I'm sure they're not just like in a bubble. You think about the two different drones and the possibilities that come with that drone.
Yeah, and something I want to talk about more tonight, because we missed it last week, is the gear that I have. But also just like this idea, because like you just mentioned that Maverick 2, like I probably could purchase that drone and start taking these opportunities like right away. So this is kind of an internal battle that I'm having. I don't think that I like turn tail and just buy a DJI drone and go out and try to get like, very amateur shots to help people, but it is a like a nagging question in the back of my head, is like, what is the difference between these two drones if I'm just using them for cinema? I know with the PVG drone, the FPV drone, sorry, I try to mix the two together. With the FPV drone, I feel as if I can get like different shots and more acrobatic shots, but it's like, how much does that really matter for the opportunities that are presenting themselves? So maybe that's the answer, is I need to look at the opportunities and see like what type of flying would be necessary. But if they're just looking for, a Maverick 2 shot, and I'm trying to bring like all this FPV gear and tell them why it's better, it's like, is that the road that I want to go down? Yeah. Like, I'd have to educate them on like this finicky drone that, is probably more problematic than it is just throwing up a Maverick 2 and getting the shot. It's like, I got to think through all these things. If you enjoyed this live stream, please come back next week at Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be reminded, you can subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. If anything that me or Steven are saying connected with you guys, please leave a comment down below, as we want to know what is piquing you guys' interest and what is useful out of these hour-long live streams that we're doing. But yeah, appreciate your time, and until next week, we'll see you